I'm Jeff Skversky. Today on Inside the Huddle, presented by Sportskeeda, I catch up with New York Jets safety Will Parks, a 7-year NFL veteran. He's had quite the journey. He started his career with the Denver Broncos. He's been to Philadelphia, Kansas City, San Francisco, Miami, and now the New York Jets. We'll talk about his ridiculous ride in the NFL as he is, in fact, riding shotgun in a car in New Jersey, headed for lunch in downtown Philadelphia. And just talking to Parks, you will love just his passion, his energy, and really the ride he has been on. He is hungry as he believes he's in the best shape of his career, in the prime of his career now with the New York Jets, where he believes he will be able to do something special. We will talk about his time in Philadelphia during a crazy season with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. We will also talk to Parks about the New York Jets and what he has seen so far from Zach Wilson as he's getting set for his second season in New York. And of course, much more today on Inside the Huddle, as Will Parks is my special guest. Will, thanks for joining me. How's it going?
It's going good, Jeff. Appreciate you having me, bro.
So I'm trying to figure this out. Since 2020, you've been on 6 teams. Is that right?
I mean, if you count in, actually playing with those teams, yeah. But I mean, I was active with Miami and the New York Jets last year.
But how insane is it? Like, personally, as a human being, like, where are you living? You're a part of 6 teams, kind of. But like, where are you living? Are you in hotels? Are you crashing on couches? What? As a human being, how do you logistically figure that out?
I mean, like, I'm pretty stationary. I lived in the city since 2020. So within the last year and a half before I got to New York, that's kind of when everything was pretty much shaking up, going from Kansas City to 49ers, then from 49ers to Miami, then from Miami to New York. It's kind of like a whirlwind this past year, but I kind of managed it, man, just by staying level-headed and just doing whatever these guys asked me to do. I was in hotels a lot for a little bit, but once I kind of settled in Miami and New York, I was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, so are you getting apartments? I mean, I'm just fascinated with how. I know nobody's going to feel sorry for a professional athlete making good coin.
Yeah.
But as a human, I'm just like, how do these guys figure this out? That's insane.
I think a lot of guys, obviously, I'm going on my 7th year. I think, you pretty much, and that was my first time going through a lot of that stuff. My first 5 years was pretty smooth sailing. I was out, Denver, did what I had to do out there. Made a lot of plays for that team, that organization. Obviously signed in hometown in Philadelphia. And then, after that, I pretty much this past year kind of just been roughly throughout a lot of places. But I mean, just the biggest thing, man, I was able to settle down with, the New York Jets and have a comfortable place to play my game, to make new teammates and stuff like that. They signed me back even before free agency this year. So, everything's kind of ascending from here.
Does your head start spinning with all those playbooks and coaches and teammates and remembering, or are you able to kind of block it out and decipher everything? I imagine my head would be spinning. I don't know if I'd be able to figure it
out. Within the football scheme of things, the fact that I play so many different positions at any given time, at any given point of the game, that helps a lot of things that I do or that I go through off the field or within the grand scheme of, the football, the business part of it, that helps me out in the long run. So I think that's kind of how I pretty much got through it, man.
Yeah, it's really insane. And so now I saw that you're going to have a baby. Like, you and your wife are going to have a baby, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And so how thrilled are you to have a baby?
My first one, a lot is going to change here within the next couple of months. But I think, for me personally, man, just another sense of another responsibility I have to take care of, another thing that motivates me to do what I already love to do and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited for Zan to make his presence upon this world, and it's going to be a pretty exciting time for me.
You said, I think on Twitter, you tweeted out that you're in your prime and yep. you're at your best point. Why do you feel that way? What has made you become that confident in yourself at this point in your career?
I think going through what I went through the last year and a half kind of molded me to where I'm at today. I've always said this about myself. Like, I always been in the best shape. I always been a workout guy. I always been training, even before, like, going into University of Arizona. Like, I used to run around Second and Boulevard, $30 game with weight vests on, and always find myself in the gym and stuff like that. So, I just think that, at this point in my life, man, that, that's what it is, man. And the fact that I'm fresh, I'll be 28 at the end of this month. I'm on year 7. A lot of guys, when they're on year 7, they tend to be 30 or 31 years old. But I think where I am at now, man, I kind of hit it last year, and I'm playing my best football. I'm training super, super crazy right now. I can't even explain the way that things have been going with the training part. I'm healthy. My diet is good. Everything around me is going pretty much good, man. So I'm just excited to get this thing rolling. I'm excited in the training camp.
I don't think people realize, there is an off season per se as far as games. But there's really not an off season for coaches and players. I mean, coaches are trying to figure out the team. Players are trying to, improve their health, improve their sleep, improve their craft. And just, Jalen Hurts always says, getting 1% better every day. And there is a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously a lot of guys, they tend to attack it a different way. But I mean, like you said, man, this sport is pretty much all year round. If you haven't, if people watching, if you haven't noticed already. So I think just, keeping the main thing. But downtime is important. Family time is important. Now that I'm entering that phase of my life, I think that I have to take a few different steps to continue what I have to do. But like I said, man, I think where I'm at now, I'm pretty good.
Yeah. And so, you're born in Philadelphia, you're born and raised a Philly guy. You have a shot with the Eagles a couple years ago in 2020. Did you think, like, okay, you growing up there, this was a dream, and maybe this could be where I could finish, my career here and have some longevity there?
Yeah, man, I definitely that was my aspirations. That was my whole motivation going into that whole situation. And obviously it didn't work out. But like I said, man, that definitely molded a lot of things that I have going on now to go into the right direction. I've definitely still talked to a lot of those guys till this day. Some of the people obviously up in the organization as well, man. So I think, like I said, everything happens for a reason. And I can't do nothing but keep looking forward.
Yeah. How nutty was that year? Not only for you, but you look at that team. I mean, like, you got like the Carson and the Jalen thing brewing, and that got a little hairy. They all said the right things and they handled themselves, at least externally, professionally, and did all the right things. But man, that had to be tough. I imagine inside the locker room going, geez, which guy is the guy here?
Right. I mean, it's that whole thing was crazy, man. Like I said, everybody, like you said, everybody handled it well. I think the biggest thing that didn't happen was that a lot of people inside the locker room didn't allow it to affect the team from a spiritual level, and a lot of guys' spirits was up, and they went into games, or we went into games and ready to go and stuff like that, and everything shaped out to be. It is what it is, man. But both those guys, still in their careers, doing well in their careers, and things of that sort. That's the only thing you can look forward to.
Yeah. And so when you're going through your situation and you leave Philly, you go back to Denver, you're going here, you're going there. Is there a moment at all when you're bouncing around where you go, I don't know, could I be done here? Does that ever cross your mind or no?
Nah, not me. Never did. Never will. I mean, like I said, my just where I'm at now, man. I feel like I'm just now getting started, bro. Like, seriously, Jeff. Like, it's nothing else that's going to stop me from what I've already been through. I mean, I feel like it can't get any worse. Like, it can't get any worse. Like, from going from starting 90% of the games you played in, playing 90% of the games you played in, and stuff like that. Building a prominent name for myself around the league. I think that's a lot of the reason why I'm still going to this day. I mean, it's my 7th year. I mean, I'm 20. I'll be 20 at the end of the month. I mean, I got.
Yeah. When you talk about this upcoming season, camps around the corner, the Jets, I mean, you feel like this team can surprise some people. It seems like you have like a young nucleus from the coach to the quarterback that maybe you can surprise some people in the AFC East.
Yeah, man. Like I think the biggest thing, but the New York Jets, man, I think the camaraderie, like the togetherness that, I feel like a lot of guys feel like they weren't a part of in the recent years. So I think this team this year, I'm not even going to say a lot of things or what we can do. You know, obviously that's our players going to do a lot of the talking, but like from getting there last year and being able to play football with those guys, I think definitely going in the right direction, man. It's definitely going to shock a lot of people. I mean, if I really want to say, I want to say from being inside those walls, man, it's a lot of motivation going on around there. So, you know, with a group of guys that's motivated, all coming together for one common goal, one common thing. You know, there's no reason why it can't be us.
Your eyes as a safety may not always be on Zach Wilson, but from what you've seen, he's going into year 2 here. He has a big future ahead of him. What have you seen from Zach Wilson? How special do you think that kid can be?
Man, his ceiling is high. And obviously everybody knows about the long arm and you know that he can throw the deep ball very well. But I feel like, you know, his biggest thing this offseason was the fact that, you know, he gained a whole lot of smartness and being real decisive with the ball, making quick decisions throughout OTAs and also talking a whole lot more, bro. Like just speaking his mind and, you know, being more vocal with the team. And that's big as a quarterback when you can be vocal and get guys to actually understand and hear your voice. You know, that goes a long way and guys play for you. So he definitely has a bright future.
Yeah, and when you talk about Zach Wilson, it seems like there's the football guy, and then there's like the celebrity, and maybe that's a New York thing with everything going on. But the guys bust his chops in the locker room about, you know, he's kind of like this celebrity in New York, you know, for stuff off the field.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a great guy. Obviously, on the field, off the field, we're humans at the end of the day. So, I mean, and he's been a celebrity ever since he's been to New York. I mean, we all know about that market, and obviously playing quarterback for the New York Jets is pretty much big time. So, and they're always looking for guys, you know, to speak their mind and voice their opinions. You know, when talking to the media and things like that. So, I think he's a perfect guy, you know, to be there. So.
Yeah, and how's head coach Robert Saleh different than other coaches that you have been with? He's going into his second season. You know, he seems like he's a very vocal guy. How's he been different than the other coaches you've played for in your time?
Man, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Robert Salah he's one of those guys, man. You know, whatever you can create in a great guy, a family guy, first and foremost, real strong hearted. Like I've been in text messages and phone calls with him more than most. And then you know, he carries it, his demeanor and the way he wants out of his football team. He gets what he wants out of his players, you know, and like I said, about this time next year, man, you should definitely you know, hear about him being one of the most improved coaches, man, if not coach of the year, man. So, you know, his you know, his tenacity and his defensive scheme and the way you know, he approaches the game each and every day, you know, makes a guy like me want to go to war for him. So, you know, I wouldn't have it any better.
Yeah, his story is amazing. And so for you, when you're on defense as a safety, has there been a quarterback in your career that has threaded a ball in there in tight coverage where you went, wow, how did that get in there? Is there a guy that you've seen as a quarterback when you're back on coverage, we went, man, how did that ball get in there?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, we actually faced that guy twice this year, man. I think Josh Allen, you know, he's you know, if not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So you know, and he's, you know, going on his 6th year, and you know, I think you know, a guy like that, man, you know, he can throw it anywhere. Big arm, but sit in a nice tight pockets, man. So be nice to face him.
Yeah, you know, last year you played a little bit with Tua down in Miami, and Tyreek Hill thinks that he's going to be able to develop a lot of chemistry with him. And you know how it is in this league. You only get so many shots. What did you see from Tua? You know, what do you think he can do? Obviously, you're trying to stop him now on the other side of it. But what do you think Tua can do as he's trying to grow his game down in Miami?
Man, I know one thing for sure. You know, Tua has a team behind him. And that guy, one thing about him, got a lot of confidence, and he's doing a lot more. He did a lot more when I was down there managing. You know, the game, you know, being more decisive, like I said. So I think he definitely has a real good shot at taking this team forward.
Yeah. And so you have upcoming, what is this, the Philadelphia Grand Prix? Can you tell me about that with Kyle Larson? What's going on there?
So, you know, basically I was on the phone with one of my friends, and he called me about the brotherly love basketball games that be going on in Camden Croc Center, where a lot of overseas guys and pro guys go and play basketball, ran by Farid Garson and Mo. And you know, then he said, wait, Will, you want to race? And I'm like, race what? He's like, race cars. I'm like, no, that'd be fun. Like, bumper cars. He's like, no, you know, pretty much, you know, similar versions to F1s and stuff like that. I'm like, put me in. And I guess it's for a charity or F1 racing foundation that goes on, ran by Urban Youth Education with Anthony Martin, those guys. So once he told me that I could possibly be a part of that and anything for kids, so I kind of just said I'm good to go.
Yeah. Speaking of driving, you're in a car now driving somewhere. Where are you going?
I'm going downtown Philly with my little brother to see if we can find something to eat. Nice and fast. We're pretty hungry right now.
All right, just let everyone know you're not, and just let everyone know you're not the one driving.
No, I'm not the one driving, and my seatbelt is on.
All right, all right. We don't want to have anyone get in trouble here.
Driving right now.
Will, I really appreciate it. Best of luck this season with the New York Jets. We really appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on the baby. Do you know, boy, girl? Do we know yet?
Man, I'm having a baby boy, Jeff. Appreciate you, bro.
Wow.
His name will be Zan Collins Parks.
Wow, future NFLer, perhaps.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You going to steer him away from football, or are you going to let him play?
No, I'm gonna let him play. I'm gonna actually let him do whatever he wants to do, but I'm definitely going to pitch the football, part to him more so than often.
Yeah. Well, listen, congratulations. Best of luck to you and your wife, and best of luck this season with the Jets.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Hey, special thanks to Will Parks. You can just hear the passion and the energy he has to be great. Best of luck to him this season. If you like the show, click subscribe at the bottom of your screen. Also, if you hit the bell button on YouTube, we will send you an alert when the next episode drops. You can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite podcast apps. Just click on the links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeff Skversky for Inside the Huddle, presented by Sportskeeda.
I like that.